I didn't choose to be here. One moment, I was standing inside a humming metal chamber, the time machine-esque coils glowing with an unnatural light. The next, I was here. The sea roared beneath me, the wind ripped at my clothes, and every instinct screamed that I didn't belong. I had read about the Viking Age my whole life, but nothing prepares you for the smell, sweat, leather, the faint stench of blood that's already drying in the sun that barely breaks through the clouds. I told myself I'd keep my head down, blend in, observe. But fate had something else planned. I'd seen his face in history books. I'd watched the dramatized version on television, but now, Ragnar Lothbrok was real, and he was staring straight at me. I thought I'd be grateful to meet him, a hero, a legend. But in that moment, I knew something was wrong. His hand went to his sword, his warriors shifted into formation, and the look in his eyes wasn't curiosity, it was suspicion. He thought I was a threat, an enemy. And I tried to speak, to explain, but what could I say? I'm from the future wouldn't exactly call him a Viking chieftain. My voice shook, my breath fogged in the cold air. It hit me then. I wasn't just a stranger here. In their eyes, I was a spy. Every step was pulling me deeper into a place where mercy was a luxury, and strangers rarely left alive. They shoved me inside like a sack of grain. My knees hit the dirt floor. The heat from the fire hit my face, but it didn't chase away the cold in my bones. This wasn't just a meeting. This was a trial, and I was the accused. You came from the sea, he said. Alone, no ship, no crew, no name we know. Tell us who you are,
Us.
or your blood will water the earth tonight. My mind raced. If I told the truth, they'd think I was mad. If I lied and they found out, I wouldn't live to regret it. Didn't understand the words, but I understood the fear in his eyes. Something was happening out there. Something dangerous. And Ragnar thought I had brought it with me. I didn't need a translator for this part. A raid was coming. And if these were his enemies, they were about to be mine too. You fight with us, or you die here. If I go out there, I might die. If I stay in here, I definitely will. I had never held a weapon like this. I didn't know how to fight with it. But the way the Vikings moved, the certainty in their steps, told me there wouldn't be time to learn. They were coming fast. Whoever they were coming to kill. It's one thing to read about a Viking battle, to imagine it in the safety of a book. It's another to feel the earth tremble beneath charging feet, to smell the iron temps of blood before a single blade is swung. Every instinct told me to run, but the line would break if I did. And if the line broke, we'd all die. For a second, everything stops. I'm staring at him, this legend, this killer, and he's looking back at me with something I can't name. Not hatred, not suspicion, something else. And in that instant, I realize he's protecting me. He turns to me, his chest rising and falling, his eyes softer now, not trusting yet, but no longer seeing just an enemy. You fight like a child, he says with a smirk, but you stood your ground. For that, you live another day. I came here by accident now. I wasn't sure I wanted to leave. The battle was over, but the silence afterward was worse. Every laugh was quieter, every glance lingered a little too long. And though I'd been allowed to stay, I could still feel eyes watching me, weighing me. I thought he'd want nothing to do with me. But then, he motioned for me to sit. The translator moves closer, repeating Ragnar's words in halting English. He says he has buried too many men to count. Friends, brothers, sons, he says. The gods take what they wish. They have taken too much from him. And in that moment, something shifts. I'm no longer just a stranger from another time. I'm someone holding a secret that could change his fate. But then, another thought takes root. History isn't just stories, it's a chain, and one wrong link could shatter everything. And for the first time since I got here, I wonder if he suspects more than I think. Part 7. The choice I woke with the weight of a secret pressing harder than the air. I knew what was coming for Ragnar. I knew how history would write his end. But standing there among his people, it no longer felt like a story in a book. It felt real, felt personal. She didn't trust me. Maybe she never would. But there was something else in her eyes. Worry. I think of the snake pit, of him screaming in agony as the venom works through his blood. And I think of the chain, the fragile link of events that lead from here to my world. He says one word I understand without translation. Betrayal. An ally turned traitor. And I realize with a chill, history never mentioned this. I feel my throat tighten. My chest burns. My eyes sting, not from the smoke, but from the truth I don't want to face. I tell him everything. The raid, the betrayal, even the snake pit. His eyes never leave mine, not once, not even when I speak of his death. You cannot stop the gods, he says quietly, but perhaps. You can walk beside me when I meet them. And as the war cries rise over the shore, I realize something. I didn't come here to change history. I came here to be part of it. The battle had erupted faster than I could comprehend. One moment, Ragnar's piercing blue eyes were fixed on me, and the next. We were swallowed by war. I saw it in his face. The suspicion had not left him. He still thought I was a spy, an intruder sent by his enemies. I mean, now, in the chaos of battle, he could make my death look like just another casualty of war. Fear clawed at my ribs like an animal trying to escape. I wasn't just fighting for my life against his warriors. I was fighting against Ragnar himself. Somewhere in the blur of smoke and screams, I saw him. Charging forward with his axe in one hand, his shield in the other. Every strike he made was lethal, precise, fueled by a fury that seemed inhuman. And then, his eyes locked on mine. He was coming for me. I froze. My mind screamed for me to run, but my legs felt like stone. I knew in that moment that this was not just a man I was facing. This was a legend. A predator who had survived countless battles, and who would not hesitate to end me. Survival is strange. When you're that close to death, your mind stops thinking. Your body just moves. I fought like I'd never fought before. Not to win, but to live one more second. One more heartbeat, one more breath, and in his eyes I swear I saw something shift. It wasn't trust, not yet, but it was hesitation, and that was my only chance. I could feel my body trembling not from the cold, but from the weight of every eye on me. They weren't just looking, they were deciding, measuring, asking themselves, should this stranger live or die? Ragnar didn't shout. He didn't wave his sword, just looked at me, as if he could strip my soul apart with a glance. And then, in a voice deep and low, he asked, "Why are you here? Not to kill me?" My mouth went dry. The truth would sound insane. The lie might get me killed. And in that silence, my mind betrayed me, feeding me flashes of my life. My friends, it's the people I'd never see again if this went wrong. I whispered, "I'm not your enemy." But even as I said it, I wasn't sure he believed me. My heart stopped, because I realized he wasn't asking if I should live. He was asking what I was willing to give to survive. In that instant, that nothing in my life had prepared me for this moment. Every history book, every story I'd read, every dream I'd ever had about time travel, it all led to this terrifying truth. I was part of something far bigger than myself. And then I understood. He wasn't my enemy. Not really. But he needed to know if I could survive. If I was worthy of walking beside him in the storm about to come, I had a choice. Flee to the time portal, leaving this world to unfold as history had written, or stay and fight beside a legend. Risking death to protect a man whose story had always fascinated me. I don't know why I chose what I did. Maybe it was fear, maybe it was courage, maybe it was fate. Every moment was a heartbeat of terror. Every swing of a sword, a test of my soul. With every breath, I realized I had become part of history, not as a spectator, but as a participant, fragile and human, yet alive. I expected relief, gratitude, maybe even respect. But what I saw in his eyes was something else. "You are not like the others," he says quietly. "Few would stand where you have. Fewer still would survive. But know this." He steps closer, and I hear the faintest whisper over the wind and rain. Every choice you make here ripples through time. I came seeking adventure, curiosity, even fear, but I left with something else. A knowledge that life, history, and destiny are fragile threads, and that sometimes to witness history, you must risk becoming part of it. And in that moment, I understood. Time travel doesn't just let you see history, it makes you live it, feel it. Sometimes it leaves you questioning whether the past ever truly lets you go.